Oh, nice. Welcome, guys, to the second session of the Cairo Bootcamp 5. It's really nice to have you guys once again for the introduction to Cairo Basics. So today we have country cousin. He's been in the Starknet ecosystem for quite a while now. So he's going to introduce himself and he's going to be taking you through introduction to Cairo, data structure in Cairo that you need to be able to write your Cairo program and also use that knowledge to write your Cairo smart contract. Please, if you have any question during the course of the class, don't hesitate to use the chat box, or you can just maybe raise your hand. Yes, so I would pass the mic to country cousin so he can take over.
All right. Thank you, Sarah. And welcome everybody to the second session of the first week, the boot camp. And I hope you're making progress so far. Because today we are going to build on what we started on a few days back. We get started with Cairo. So now as I progress through the class, if you do have any question, please do not hesitate to drop it in the chat session and I will get to it. Please do not wait till the whole thing compounds before you then say, I did not understand anything. I mean, that is not going to help any of us. So as I'm progressing through the class, you have a question, it's important you raise awareness. If I can write it down, or if it's possible that you can unmute and ask as well. This is very, very important. So I will be sharing my screen right now so we can get started. How do you share screen again? Okay. Fine. So I believe you can see my screen right now. Everybody, can somebody confirm? How do I see your chat? Okay.
Yeah, we can see it. I can see it.
We can see it very well.
Thank you, Stanley. Thank you. Thank you. So this is it. Starknet Foundations and Cairo Basics. A few days back, we talked about the foundations, the trying to understand what. Can you see my face too?
Yeah. Yes, yes, can do.
Yes, sure.
Okay. So we talked about, so what?
I say yes, we can see your face very well.
Awesome. So we talked about the, mechanism, how Starknet works, the VM and every other thing in between. Now today, if you actually want to build on Starknet, actually build something that the VM, the virtual machine can work on, can work with. Cairo is the tool you are going to have to, manipulate your way into that particular zone. So today we are going to be getting started with Cairo. Now, by way of introduction, Cairo is well, this is myself. You can see the image matches the person talking to you. And blockchain developer, I've been around in the Cairo ecosystem for some time now. But we are all learning in the end because the ecosystem is very, very new. And so we are growing together with it. So today's agenda, we are going to help us write our first Cairo program, understand data types, structures in Cairo, control flow and function in Cairo, arrays, enums, and structs. Now, towards the end, we are going to implement a basic algorithm that adds, subtract or whatever it is. It's not so difficult, just so we can, harmonize everything we've learned. So, writing your first Cairo program. So first of all, what is Cairo? Now, Cairo is a general purpose, programming language, just like Python actually. Except with Cairo, you get to build within Starknet ecosystem. Cairo has some unique features in the sense that every single line of code you write is provable. So most of other programming languages are not provable in a way because, but Cairo, the foundation is based on mathematics. But us, the developers, you and myself, we don't have to worry ourselves about these maths. The maths are taken care of for us under the hood. So all we have to do is write a program we can interact with, like something human readable, right? We can interact with it. So anybody actually can learn Cairo. But we talk about the a learning curve, okay? Some people might find it a lot easier, while some people will take their time, give it more effort to be able to grab what we are doing. But with the right set of motivation and dedication, anybody can pick it up. Now, people with the knowledge of Rust, we obviously find Cairo a lot easier and friendly to pick up. But that does not mean that if you don't write Rust, that you cannot write Cairo. Okay? Also, people that have not written statically typed programming language before now, maybe you are into Python, JavaScript. It will take a while, but you'll get there as well. So, talking about what you can do with Cairo, you can do, like I said earlier, it's a general purpose programming language. It is not just about smart contracts like with Solidity. With Solidity, you get to write smart contract on Ethereum and that's that. But with Cairo, you can write smart contracts and also do some other complex executions like machine learning or whatever you want to do. So you can think of Cairo as maybe Python. Python, you can use it to write smart contracts too. Use Python to write AI, machine learning, deep learning, so many of, like a lot of things. The same thing applies here. But then Cairo is unique in the sense that it is provable. Everything you write is provable. Now, the ability of your program to be provable, eliminates the gap where we say, trust me, this is good. You don't have to trust anybody. Rather, you can verify whatever they are saying. So there is an instance we used to explain how powerful Cairo is. Maybe you are working, say Stanley on call, is working with company A. And then David is working with another company. They have maybe a similar product, so we can call them rivals. But then one other company, maybe the one that Stanley is working with, has this supercomputer that can, operate any kind of algorithm you throw at it. But the one that David is working with, maybe they're getting started and trying to compete with other guys. All of a sudden, David comes up with an idea, says to his boss anyways, see the idea I have, and I want to implement it. The boss says, okay, go ahead and do that. After implementation, David realized that his computer, the computer his company has, cannot execute that task. But meanwhile, the company that Stanley is with can execute it. So what happens now? What David will do is to give that particular program he wrote to the rival company and say, please help us execute this algorithm. We need it for something. Now they will say, okay, maybe out of greediness, they want to see how good their code is so that they can steal their effort, their work. But the good thing about Cairo is when you're sending that program to them, you have a proof of what your program is. So by the time they execute the algorithm, the program, and then send it back to you, you have the power to make sure that what you send and what you receive is the same. This you cannot achieve with other programming language. And this is one of the things that makes Cairo unique. Now, talking about this proof and verification, we developers don't have to do it ourselves. Starknet does it for us, and then Ethereum verifies. I believe we must have talked about this in our previous class. So by so doing, you can see that two rivals can work together. It can be between countries, two rivalry countries that are trying to know who is going to be the superpower. They can interact with each other. And in this case, you can see that David's computer, which is a smaller computer, was able to keep Stanley's computer honest. Remember, Stanley has a supercomputer, a bigger computer. So the small computer was able to keep the bigger guy honest. And this is like amazing. So to get started, to writing our first Cairo program, first thing we have to do is to install a package manager. I don't know if we have installed it before now. It's called Scab. Now, if you've been working with Rust, you must have heard of Cargo. People with Node, I think is NDM or ND, I can't remember the command. It's been a while. So, but it's like a package manager. It manages your projects. You write your project, you get to execute whatever you're writing using this particular package. It's called Scab. Do we have it installed already on our system? I'm going to need a response to that so that we can progress. I'm asking, like, I need your okay. Somebody says no. And another thing I will advise everybody is to code along. Anything I'm doing, please do it so that you get the best out of the session. So first thing we have to do right now is to install Scab. No, we have to install it ourselves. Yeah, you have to install it on your PC, but I'll be doing it right here on the course so that you can follow along. And one more thing, if you are on Windows, you are going to need WSL for people with Windows. I've not tried it on CMD, natively. So you're going to need a Linux environment. People with Mac and already on Linux, you don't have any problem. So first thing gotta do right now is but for the sake of the class, I will not be installing it locally, although I already have Scab installed. But I'll be using a virtual environment called Code Space to get started so that you will see everything working in a fresh environment. And yes, So I will open my tab. I will search for code space. Now, to use code space, all you need to have is a GitHub account. Once you have a GitHub account, you should be fine. All right. Then started for free. I believe you can see my screen. So I'll be using the blank version of what we have at the blank template. So while this is setting up, I will quickly open our doc, Cairo book. Everything you need is actually here, Cairo book. So it's like your go-to. Your go-to. Is this done? Okay, still like setting up. Why is it taking time? So I think I'll just mark as mark done, let's get started. So you can see that this looks like your VS Code, really, but then it does not live on your PC. It's a virtual environment. So there's no need introducing us to this. We already know what VS Code looks like. So I will take this guy out. Why is this guy taking time to load? So we go to the installation page. And this is the command. We copy this command here. And head over to this guy. Now, before I paste the command, I'll first of all check for something. If scab is available here, I say scab -- version. So you can see it says command not found. All right. So now I will paste what I copied somewhere and hit enter. Hopefully, we're not going to run into any issue. Yes, that's why. Then you continue. So this command we just run right now is going to install a couple of things for us. You can see what they say here, stack up. It will install Starknet Foundry, install Cairo, install Scab, and a host of other things that we need. Wow, it's downloading 215. I hope everything is okay here. Because hey, Cairo book uses 213 if I'm not mistaken. Well, let's see how it goes. If it wants to give us headache, we find our way. All right. So is everybody here so far? So far, so good, I believe. Now, if I run that command again, it still say command not found, but our script is saying something. To complete installation, run source up until this point. Is either you do this or you simply open a new terminal. So if I open a new terminal and say scab -- version, you can see the version we are working with here. And like I said, you can also use the current terminal by just running whatever he says up there, this source guy. And then if you run scab again, version, variation. All right. So you can see we have it. We have Scarp installed. This might be very, very small. And if you have issues seeing what I'm writing, you can always call back my attention. This is the Scarp version we are using, 2.15.1. Cairo is this, Sierra. And then you can also see for Foundry, SN, think Forge version. So we are on this guy, Starknet Foundry, 0.5. Can still see ASDF version. The version is 1.8. Now, ASDF helps you manage different versions of Scarp that you have on your PC. So if I run, I think ASDF list Scarp. What do I get? I'll get the current one we have, which is only one. All right. So far, so good, I believe. Are we leaving anybody behind? Okay, for the command, you could have easily gotten it from your Cairo book. Remember, your Cairo book is like your go-to. So better get used to that. It's very, very important. So far, so good. Everybody, if you don't talk, I can't help you, but that's just fine. So right now, we're just writing our first program. Okay, somebody says Max still running the installation. So let's give us like a minute. A minute. You ought to be doing this while I was doing it because we don't have much time. If we can finish the class in 1 hour, that's good for everybody. We go and rest and prepare for the next session. You don't have to wait till gets to 2 hours. Yeah. Any other person making progress? People that are done with the installation, can I see your hands up? People that are done with the installation signify, okay, David is good to go. Who else? Somebody's mic is unmuted. Do you have something to say?
No, I have done mine.
All right. Awesome. We have over 30 plus, roughly 40 persons on the call.
Sorry, country cousin, can you unmute yourself?
Yeah, I just noticed like somebody in
Yes, yes. So I muted everyone because I noticed some people were like talking in the background, so I needed some.
okay. Peter is good to go. Who else? Michael is good to go. Felix, awesome. Great. So, okay. Okay, Collins. All right. So let's continue. To create a folder, a project, the command you need is scarp new. See the word new, trying to create something new. Why is yours taking time, Max? Is it your network? But just keep going. We are still with you. Yeah. Then new. Call the project first program. You can call it anything you want, really. It's all good. Now we are at this stage. You are supposed to choose one of these. It used to be Cairo test before now, but now they just give us none. So I'll be choosing Starknet Foundry. There's been a lot of upgrade and updates. Yeah, Scab new prog. You can call it anything you want, any directory of your choosing. Yeah. So I will hit enter. I'm choosing the first option. That is Starknet Foundry. Then give it some time. Now you can see that we have something this side, a program like this. And then we're going to take our time to explore what we have here so that we get used to it. This is the name of the root file. You have your source file. Okay. You have your source file, which contains your, whatever you're writing. And then test. If you're writing test, you have it, but we're not writing test today. So I will delete the test folder, delete permanently. Yeah. Now, if I open this lib.cairo, you can see a bunch of things happening right here, like so many things. This is what a Starknet contract looks like, very, very basic. But we're not writing contracts today, so I'll be deleting it as well. Delete yourself, delete your own as well. Next thing you have a git ignore. So things you don't want to push to the GitHub, you find it here, a bunch of stuff. So another important one now is this guy here. Okay, popular, what's up? You have your hand is up.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, I can hear you. Okay, thank you. I'm trying to follow along, but then I am stuck on this thing while creating my code space, right? So when I click on the create code space, I was asked to create a repository, which I did. So now it's not telling me that code space cannot be created on empty repository. I don't know what to do.
In my own case, I did not open any repo.
I was asked to open repo.
Have you not been using your GitHub before now?
And I've been using it.
So try
Okay, what
the
I
link.
did is I clicked on this create new code space. Am I right?
Let me just go back and then maybe retrace my way, and you can see what I'm doing.
Okay,
Did you see this?
okay,
Okay,
sir.
from here now, all the way back to Google. But what
Yes, sir.
PC are you using currently?
Um,
What, like, are you using on
HP.
Windows or?
I'm using window. Yeah, window.
Okay, So you click here, code space like this. So we open, then you say get started for free. Is that what you took?
Yes,
I'm
yes,
talking about the
yes, sir.
route. Okay, I'm clicking that
Yes,
now.
that's what I think.
And then it comes here, say blank. I'll click on it.
Okay, use this template. Okay, I got it from them. Thank
All
you.
right. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So it takes time, but it comes up. All
Okay,
right.
okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. So back to our code. So right here, we have a lot of things going on, but you can notice something. This is the name of our file here, the project. And then we have version and every other thing. Then here dependency, very, very crucial. Now, if you are writing a smart contract, then this guy will play a big role. but in this case, we don't really need it. So I will take it off eventually. And you have dev dependencies. If you any of you that know something like what is it called? Open Zeppelin or all these ASAP macro, you can put them here. Then for this is for the contract. If you compile, you're expecting it to go somewhere. And this is like the direction you're pointing your Sierra to. And we know what Sierra is. I believe we should have talked about it in the last class. Then for scripts, if you want to like have some custom script you want to be running, you don't want to use the conventional commands, you input those ones here and use it. For what we are doing, I will be deleting everything right here. Okay. I'll get rid of it except for these guys. Then, so before now, I was working with 2.1, 3.1. I don't know how things are right here. Let me see. So function, I'll start with main. Let me see. Okay. I'll start with main and then parentheses. This is how you define a function in Cairo, okay? Okay. I will say print. And yes, people on if you're working with your PC, there is a VS Code extension you can actually use to get this kind of highlights that I'm getting. Let me give me a minute, I will show you. Okay. So if you go to the marketplace, right? Where's the market? The extension. You search for this guy here, Cairo 1.0. You see, it was installed automatically for me here. It wasn't like this before, but these days it happens. So in case yours did not go like this, you can actually install it and yeah, you can get the syntax highlighting that I'm getting as well. So back to what we have here. Back in the day, this used to be a valid program. Let me run and see what happens. I say scab. I'm working with a new version of Cairo, so I don't really know. Cairo run if this guy is back. So no such command. Okay. So finally, it's been deprecated. No, it doesn't take forever. I think maybe it's your network. You can see when I did it here, like within the minute tops, it was done. So it could be your network that is slow. Okay. All right, so scab execute. Sorry. Execute. So it's saying a bunch of things, like a lot of things right now. And meanwhile, I'm not in my projects. When I say ls, so my bad. I have to cd into first. Hope you're doing the same thing. You have to enter the program, the project, sorry. Execute. So now we might see a different error. Yes, and this is the error we are getting right now. So next thing we do is find a way to fix this error. So once again, I will take you back to the Cairo book. Everything you need, like I said, is right here. So if you follow the installation, this is the version you're supposed to get. But I think today there is a new version of StarkUp. So You might not see this. Well, yeah, it is what it is. If we run into any issue, then I will have to downgrade to this particular version and we work with it. But for now, let's continue. So this is where we are writing our first Cairo. And it's still the same thing. So let me just complete what we have here. So we have done all this, creating our new projects and directory, created our new project. We went through this. So this is what I was telling us that it used to look like. I don't know if anybody saw something like that while creating their project. You see Cairo Test and Starknet Foundry, but apparently it says something else. I don't know. And then I think we have explained this. Yeah. So the one we need is this guy down here. I'll copy it, go back to my code space and go to the config. This is where we are going to config. Paste this. I will delete this because we already have a name of the project we are working with, really. So first thing here is gas. We enabled gas and we also are using this version, but because we're using 15, so we have to remember this thing it says execute. So we're trying to fix this error. We have to upgrade this to 15 to 5. And we can actually get rid of this, that's no problem. Now, this is like part to the function we have in our program. So we delete the part they have and update it to first program. Is there any other thing we are missing out on? Okay. Let's execute and see what happens. Hopefully we don't run into any issue, okay? It's saying it does not find any executable. So what I will do now is copy this guy. I'll copy this executable. So I will tell us the differences. Before now, you didn't actually need to do all these things I'm doing. But like I said, the programming language is new. So it's constantly evolving. Therefore, we developers, we have to evolve with it. Okay. So let me run and then I'll explain something quickly. So we can see hello world here printed. I believe every other person can get this as well. I will take a minute to make sure we are all on the same page. So far so good. Is anybody right here with me? Okay, let me show you the config. But remember, I don't really have to show you the config. You can get it from Cairo Book. Okay. This is what it looks like. But let me show you the one I have here quickly so that or do I even copy it and paste for you? Yeah, this is it. I don't have to copy it, so you get to be doing something. I just explained everything right here. You should have this by default. And then I grab this from somewhere because I don't want to stress my head, whatever. But that is it, really. You enable a gas is 0 false here because we don't need gas to run programs. It's only in contract that we're going to need gas. And then the dependency we are working with, it's like a dependency. This is the path to the program we are executing. Any questions so far? So if you are here, congratulations, you've written your first Cairo program. It's not easy at all. Okay, Arif, Did you get positive output like hello world or whatever you are trying to output? Please, I need feedback so I will know I'm not leaving you guys behind. And if you need help, now is the time. Otherwise, okay, awesome, Arif. I hope I'm getting that name, Arif, but getting it right.
Sorry,
Okay,
good
going back
evening.
to my, okay, somebody's talking. What's the problem?
Sorry, I keep getting error on my own code space. I don't know why. Let me send the
What
error
is
to
the
the.
error saying?
Okay. The error keep directing me that my code space has reached a maximum limit.
Have you been using code space before now?
No, 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 no. I don't think.
Ah,
I don't
I've not
think I.
encountered that before now.
I don't know. Just continue. I'll check it out later.
All right. I'm sorry about that, man.
No problem.
So, okay, Obi said I should give us a minute. Yes. Who else needs a minute? Uh, Apart from Arif, has anybody been able to get something positive? Because we need to go together. And as much as I don't want us to spend all of our time here, I still need to carry us along. Everybody is quiet. What's happen?
Sorry, sir. I think I have the same issue with Arif, but I later switched to my VS Code. So I'm trying to download it. So I'm seeing downloading scab release something something, and I've been there since. That's what I've done.
If you're using your VS Code, are you on WSL?
Yeah, I switched to Ubuntu already.
Okay, then, and you said it's giving you what error?
No, not error. It has been like showing me downloading scab release and version like since. So I'm still waiting. That's why I'm not
Okay,
following
okay,
along.
okay. That should be your network. Just give it some time.
Okay.
Scap execute. So what? David, I sent something to the chat. Popular. So that's the name, popular. Amiwa,
Bubola.
make S small letter, please. I don't know if the capital letter will work. Okay. Yes, okay. Somebody else, Google. And then your highlight is not working. Are you on code space or working out of your PC? It should be working. Maybe you should just restart. I don't know, but it should be working. I didn't need to restart. Make sure you installed it correctly. Okay, with CodeSpace, I didn't even need to install. It installed itself for me. If that is correct. Installed by itself. But it is not highlighting. Chinonso, yeah, you can talk, please.
Please, after I did the installation, what next? Is it the next command to run? Is it the scab new
New.
first prong?
Yes, that's how you create your projects. Remember, you can
After
always
after
refer
after I
back.
ran after I ran scab new first prong, I'm getting an
Yeah.
error. I'm getting an error.
What's the error you're getting?
Scab command not found.
Did you restart your terminal?
Restart? No, no, I didn't. Okay, let me do that.
Restart your terminal and try it again. Like just open a new terminal. I didn't say you
Yeah.
should close your everything. Just open a new terminal. There you are. I did it here. Okay,
All right.
Stanley. Oh, yeah. Obi, can you talk? Please, we should be fast. We don't have all the time in the world.
GM, sir. Can I hear me, sir?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, previous question to ask.
So what? Okay, your voice is
Yuan
cracking. I
Scab
don't know if you can
or
just write down your
the
question.
previous question that I asked.
Yeah?
Okay, sir.
All right. I have just two persons that have responded positively. Where are the rest? People that have successfully printed hello world to the screen, because this is very, very crucial. It's very, very basic. It's important we get it right. And now is your chance. If everybody, okay, yeah, Sultan, awesome. Yes, you need to CD into your projects. Yeah, you have to be inside it, and then you run that command, execute. I'm talking to David. Can you go back to lib? Okay, okay. There's nothing fancy here. It just okay, all right. Lib.car. I'm just like printing hello world. Then
Please, can you hear me?
I've not even, yeah.
Okay, yeah. So I'm also stuck at downloading Scab release 2.15.1, and I'm using a MacBook.
What are you stuck on? Like, is it not downloading?
Yeah, it's not, like it's just it has been on that same that same part, downloading Scab release for
Is your
over
net
3 minutes now.
is your network strong?
Yeah, it's very strong. That's what I'm using for this call. Very
Wow.
strong.
I mean,
And I'm using,
you can see what we did here, like mine. It didn't take like up to a minute from here downloading this up until this place. So maybe you can just stop it and try running it again. Okay.
okay, I will try it now, then get back to you.
Awesome.
Okay.
Okay, Obi, I'm right here, so I think you can see whatever you're looking for. Now, I will need to explain what executable means. Executable here simply is like an entry to our program, entry point. So before now, main used to be our entry, but with the recent upgrade, I think from 2.13, now you have to include this guy as your point of, like door, gate into the house. So now we can actually make this, it doesn't have to main again. We can say it is hello. Let's say hello. Hello. Okay. And but once you change this, remember you have to update your part here as well. Yeah. You have to update your part like hello. And then if you run it, hopefully we'll get the same thing we got earlier on. Let me see. Else we investigate. So it's saying that yeah, awesome. Awesome. Also, well done. Scalp execute. Executable not found. Okay, did I make mistake in my spelling? Okay, I use capital. Could that be the issue? So I'm just like trying to show us something. Yeah, no, so you can ask your question.
Please, sorry, I'm sorry to drag us back. So what's the name of that extension you said should have on VS Code?
Cairo 1. Go to the marketplace, this 1.0.
All right,
You can see it has up to 13,000 downloads.
all right, all right, all right.
Perfect. Okay, now so it's finally with us. Somebody says, sorry, did you downgrade Scarp version because it's been saying, okay, but even if you are getting this warning, just run the execute. If it gives you the output, you're fine. Peter, if you're getting the output, you are okay. Sometimes the server can be tricky, but no problem. Okay, let me see. Yeah, finally we got what we're looking for. So I was trying to explain something that before now, men used to be the point of entry into the program, but currently executable. It's not giving me the output. Is it giving you any error? Meanwhile, we have just 3 minutes for this installation and writing our first Cairo program because we have so much to do really. But I know it's important I carry everybody along, and there can be frustration associated with installation. That's why I'm giving it some time. Okay, I'm waiting for the error, Peter. So if we can help you. Back to this guy. All right, so I was just trying to show us that now the Cairo program, the function can be anything. But if you're using this particular command, execute, then you must include executable so that your compiler will know how to get inside and then operate from there. All right, I'll be moving forward right now. Any question? Remember, I have to ask so we don't leave you behind.
Sorry, please let me see your .toml file.
Okay. So once again, I only added 3 things. Cairo. Let me just paste this. Let me just paste this in the call, in the chat. Okay, I've pasted it, so you can just copy. Meanwhile, if you change name of the function, remember you need to update this as well. So if you want to find where this is pointing, you go to targets, dev, then we have execute here, right? So you have 1 or 2 things. All right, and that is where your Sierra lives as well. Safe intermediate representation. All right, I'm moving on now. Writing our first Cairo program, we've done this, we edited it, and we've seen this command as well. So on to this, let's explain this. I've already told you what Cairo programming is. Stateless, yes. You have difference between the contract and programs. Like I said, Cairo is a general purpose programming language. So if you're writing a contract, you have to specify that you're writing a contract. If you're writing a program, it's quite different. So does not have access to Starknet virtual machine. It's all about computation. That's it. And then marked with entry point. This is very, very crucial. And I've shown you as well. Moving on. So you can actually maybe play around with this particular code we have here. And maybe I will use this opportunity to explain what just Okay. So I'll delete this. All right, I just leave it there. I'll paste this guy here, but I'm gonna have to delete you for now. Why is it showing error? Okay, there's no F here. So this is how you define a function, like and then I'll just call, oh, this guy even scattered everything right here. Yeah. So far, so good, everybody. Do we have any question?
Yeah, I'm having an issue, sorry.
Okay, what's the
Um,
issue?
when I run scab execute,
Yeah.
I'm having issues of std out or something, error, empty summaries or something like that.
Are you sure you are inside the folder you created?
Yeah.
Did
So
you
when I run,
cd?
yeah. So I opened VS Code from the folder itself. So it's not there's only CD in again. I opened VS Code um this thing. So when I ran it the first time, I was given this like option to write instead of what you posted for what you pasted on the group chats, the dependencies are cool. So I was given an alternative to write workspace.dependencies. Then under it, then Cairo underscore execute 12.2.15.1. So when I ran it, it showed me this STD out error. Let me just copy and paste. Sure.
The error you got, was it like this? Something close to
Thank you.
this?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, something like that.
So you can see that after I got this error here, what I had to do was I checked my ls, that is the directory I was, and I can see I was not in the directory I was supposed to be in. So I had to go into that directory. This is how I fixed it. Are you with me?
That target, how did it come about? Sorry.
I don't even know. The thing just came on its own. Okay, it's the server. It came with the server. Because I remember I didn't create anything like this. Is it on yours as well?
No, I'm using VS Code. I don't think.
All right. So we don't actually, I didn't install, I think it's the server. I can see what they have the language server. And that's not our business for now. So yeah.
Sorry to short. So see the error I'm getting. Let me
Okay.
screenshot and send. Let me like send. So I've sent it on the chat.
Let me see.
Okay.
Goes by virtual. Your dependency, your scab, are you using exactly what we have here?
Uh, What 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 you pasted on the group chat is what I use.
Did you update this guy here? Your part. I don't know
Guy,
the one you're using, whether you're using main
I don't
or
understand.
main. Are you using main or hello? This, can you see the one I highlighted here?
No, not seeing your screen at all. It seems like your screen is frozen or something. Can you move your mouse? Okay, yeah, I'm seeing your mouse now.
Okay, it's like you can't see the charts. Can you see the charts?
No.
Aye. Okay, let me just go back to my scab for a quick reference. Now, check this out. Do you have exactly what I have here? Enable gas, set it as false. Dependency, Cairo execute, and then
Yeah, I
function.
do. Yes.
Uh, program hello.
Yes. Let me do. Let
Okay,
me.
maybe, okay.
Let
If
me.
the,
Let me do
if
it.
the issue
Um.
continues, then maybe we have to meet after the class. Okay.
All right.
Yes, I was
Like
just
if
about
you
to say that because we have not even started going into the slides and all that.
so yeah, just take your time and if you're unable to figure it out after the class, we will sort it out. All right. So what we have basically this. Okay, somebody says you should save your file. Just try that. Okay, back to my. So what I have here is this. Let result. Oh, this guy even formatted itself. Like, what the hell? Yeah. So we have +1, delete these guys. So basically we are trying to write a function that takes a value, adds 1 to it, and we print out the value and then return it. Also here, basically the same thing. In this case, we call the function and then we supply the value, which is 5 in this case, and we multiply the result by 2. So here we need to pass it in as color Cairo, and it doesn't take any. So what happens is this. When the compiler gets into this particular program, first of all comes here and calls this guy. This guy calls our brother down here. Then, and this color Cairo returns what? U16. So here we get another function call, right? Which is actually the brother up here. So you can understand that when we supply 5 here, the value we supply, which is 5, gets added to 1, we have 6. And then coming down here, we multiply that 6 by 2. We're expecting to see maybe something like 12. So let's see what happens when we execute the program. Remember, I did not tamper with this guy, so hopefully everything works.
Making progress from nothing because I didn't know how to code. But eventually you hit like the tip and it just becomes the and I know this because
you are talking. I think you were muted, something. So we have, by the way, this is how you define a function with fn keyword, name of the function, then your parameter. It can be 1, it can be 2. In this instance, we specify the type, data type is going to take, which is a U16. At the end of the day, we are returning this. So, returning value, you can see we use return, the keyword here. We can actually use this, or we can simply take the shortcut like this, and we remove the semicolon. These are things we will see eventually. I'm just like touching it so that, we don't really have time to lose. And that's about that. I don't think there's any other thing to talk about here. Who is drawing on my... Okay, data types. We already seen that Cairo is statically typed, and I demonstrated that as well with what we have here, this guy. Now, that doesn't mean that somebody is drawing on the presentation. Please, you need to stop, okay? Okay. So we have a data type. Now, sometimes the compiler can infer. You can see what is happening down here in line 7. we did not put any data type, but the compiler is like telling us something. If we hover over this, you can see that we have U16. By the way, this is how you define a variable in Cairo with let keyword, name of the variable, and then whatever. This type of variable is said to be immutable. Immutable variable. Immutable variable, okay? If you want to make it mutable, then you have to add something like mute. It makes it mutable. But let's just stick to what we have. And then we have the print line because we want to see what we are working with. We print it out. Here we have something like a formatting. We format it. This is the value. So the value is, in this case, should be 6. And then we return the value as well. I believe there is no question so far. I mean, this is like as simple as it gets. All right. So I was trying to explain statically, and I think we've successfully achieved that. However, the compiler can infer the desired type, but it's always advisable to, specify the type you're working with to avoid any kind of confusion. Scalar types in Cairo, we have like 3 of them: the field elements, integer, booleans. Now, field elements, everything in Cairo is actually what? The field elements. Everything, both your boolean, your integers, under the hood, they are all field elements. And then what is a field element anyways? It's called a felt type short, or felt 252. You'll be seeing one of these from time to time. So, but remember when we said that the compiler can infer. Sometimes if you do not specify the type, like in this case, if we take this out, okay, and then, okay, that will require me to maybe rewrite the entire function, but let's see. Let it return felt. I mean, if you're going to return something, you must return something. So for functions, you must specify the type statically. But I wanted to show let's next, equals equals 3. So looking at this variable here, you can see we did not specify the type. By default, the compiler is saying it has to be felt, and that's the same thing that happened here actually. So what I'm trying to say is that whenever you fail to specify the type, by default, the compiler makes it, assigns felt to it. Now, to define felt is a positive integer between 0. Look at this mathematical expression. Between 0, but is always less than p, where p is a large prime number defined as this. So maybe later you can figure this out. You can see it's a very, very big number. Ultimately, we are just trying to say that p will always be less than whatever, like 0. The range of value will always be less than this, p minus 1. Okay. One thing again I must tell you about felt is it's advisable not to work with felt whenever you're working, because there are some limitations that comes with it that it doesn't like take care of. Maybe I'll quickly show us something. So we have so many functions. Let me just delete this guy. Okay. It's returning something. So I will have to delete this guy as well. So let's let's use an if expression. If in that case, I will need to add something here. Let's call it X, right? X is always friendly. If X, all right, is greater than something, greater than maybe 2, you want something to happen. False, print false. Else, true. So now I can actually take care of this. What is he saying now? Okay, it's expecting a bool. So let's return a bool. Now you can see that our color Cairo, okay, now it accepts something. If you look at line 9, you can see it's complaining and says if you hover over this, the compiler can help you to deduct, deduce the error you're getting, and it can be helpful. Yeah. It says thread has no implementation in the context of partial order. It means that we cannot compare two fields. Two numbers that are felt, we can't compare it. But if we change this to U16, not 18, please, you can see that it's been taken care of. So it's advisable, like I was saying, to always work with other data types apart from fields. You only use fields if there is no other alternative. All right. So that is what we are basically trying to explain here. And then we have the Booleans. Booleans just represent true or false. We've seen it just now. Integer. So like I was trying to explain, additional security. You can see that. Additional security. It helps with multiplication, division, overflow, underflow. It's usually best instead of working with this directly. Then the integers, they range from U8, U16, U32, and so on. You have U64, U1 to 8, and yeah, we have others, say U256. So these are like data types we have, and they are scalar because they are single, single elements. We have also something called short string. Natively, Cairo doesn't support strings. So some time ago, when there was nothing like byte array, which I will show us down here, is byte array. If you want to represent string in Cairo, you use something called short string. Now, short string under the hood are still what? Felt. But then it has a sequence of character that is not more than 31. So if you go back to your VS Code right here, and you create maybe, let's value equals 5. So here, the compiler is not inferring. Let's just make it a field, and come on, 252. So back to this, I want to show us something, how you present this, say acts. See that this is a valid field. If you keep increasing it, after a while, once you have up to that one character, I'm expecting an error. Why is it not? Maybe it's taking its time. But if we try to execute this, we should have an error because this is more than that. I don't know why my this guy is not highlighting. Maybe I should just open my VS Code and work there. But ultimately, once you have more than 31 characters, it's filled up. Hence, you run into an issue. Now, in order to correct these short strings, there is something else that was introduced: byte arrays. You can see it's well explained here. So it takes in as many as you have, more than 31. Also, Cairo has integers, that's negative, when you have this type of, remember we have I, right? Signed integers. The other one is unsigned integer. That's why you have U in front of them. Signed integer represented with I, and then unsigned with U. Compound types. We have the tuple. Tuple basically collects different data types together. With tuple, you can have both unsigned integer. You can see where we defined it here. You can have U32, U64, and a Boolean in one. Awesome, right? So, all right. Then you have the uint type as well. It's basically a tuple that is empty. It doesn't have anything inside of it. So by default, all functions that does not return anything. For example, if we take this out, okay, finally this guy is here. See what he's saying? The value does not fit within the range of whatever. Okay, so I'll be deleting this right now. Meanwhile, if you have any question, please ask the question because we are going all the way. All right. So I will clean this out. We don't need this right now. So like I was trying to show us, like the way this function is now, is actually returning nothing. Okay, so we can have it write it as this. Yeah, the same thing. Everything is okay. No errors. Okay. Then we have fixed size array. Before now, we talked about a tuple that collects so many things together as one. With array, it's all about collection. So if we're talking about goods, it has to be goods all the way. If you're talking about cars, it has to be cars all the way. Talking about humans, collection, right? The same type. Now, fixed size array simply means it doesn't grow. Once you define it, that is what it's going to be. So here we have the type, which is unsigned integer 64, then the number of elements that will be in it, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's how you define, what is it called? A fixed size array. And this is the name of the array. You can see we did not attach mute keyword here. That's to tell you that it doesn't change. Okay. I just talked about this. What else do we need? Fixed size array are more efficient in runtime. Okay, because the size are known. Unlike when you have a dynamic arrays that can grow with time. Okay. So you can, use this maybe days in a week or months in a year. Things that are fixed really in your programs. That's where this other guy shines. So you can access elements in a fixed size arrays like we have this fixed size array. Let me just copy this. Maybe we can. I can see it in action. Great. I paste this here. I'm gonna have to remove this here, and I'll remove this as well. So felt. Okay. I need to complete this. What else is it saying? Where is the error coming from? Missing a token. Okay, okay. Sorry. Copied something that is wrong. Okay. So if we try executing scab execute, so you can see that we got what? 3 here, this line. So at line 9, we define our array. Maybe let's just then here we are trying to like decouple, like break it down into 1, 2, 3. These ones are not usable. We're not using them. So in order to avoid the warning, you can use an underscore there so that the compiler will just ignore it for you. And then we print out C. These are 0 based, in case I've not mentioned it. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. And that's basically what we have. Okay. All right. So converting array into span. Now you can convert an array using the span method. What is the difference between this, my span, and my array? This guy is more efficient, working with them because it's read only. It's like you're taking a photograph or a copy of the main array. That's just the difference between the two. This line here, we're taking a copy of it, and then this other place we are trying to access an element, number 2. Remember, it's 0 base, so we count 0, 1, 2. That's why we get 3 if you print this out. All right. Type conversion. Sometimes you want to convert from type A to type B. Like I said earlier, we have so many types. So if you want to convert from U8 to U16, by me looking at this, you can see that 16 is obviously bigger than 8. In that case, we use into. Down here, there's something written, say guaranteed conversions. So if you used to live in a 1-bed apartment, all of a sudden you have money and decided to move into maybe a 4-bed apartment, you will agree with me that all the properties you have in the 1-bed will definitely fit into the 4-bed apartment. And that is what is happening here, nothing else. But if we want to convert from something big to the small one, now, for some reasons, you decide to, stay small. You used to live in 4-bed. Now you're going back to going to maybe 1-bed. You obviously understand that not everything you have will fit into 1-bed coming from a 4-bed apartment. So that is what is happening here. To move from small to big, you use into because it is guaranteed everything will enter. But if you're moving from the bigger guys to the smaller one, you have to try. First of all, you try and see if it will fit. Else, you say, no, it's not going to fit. That's why we are doing it right here. My large, we try. First of all, we try. and then we use the unwrap method to handle the process. Unwrap simply helps you handle it in the sense that if there is an element, okay, like if it works, if it can enter into the destination, it will go successfully. But if not, unwrap here helps you to panic and say, no, this does not work. So far, so good, I believe. Okay. Can I get some feedback? So far, so good, everybody. You can use the charts. I'm waiting for your feedback so we can continue. Hope I'm not talking to myself. Do we have questions, guys? Everybody's so quiet. Just one person responded. Thank you. Another person.
I think from when you the slides, and I think I was meant to read from Cairo book. I think it would be. But though I'm following.
Oh boy, Colin say everything just blow. I told you to always ask question when you are not
Can you
following.
kindly share the link to the slides in the chat, please?
Sarah, are you there? Sarah? Okay. Felix, it's clear to you. Awesome. Everybody just be honest. Nobody will bite you. Okay? Nobody will bite you. Well, it's important because this is like the basics. If you don't get it right now, it's gonna be tricky for you. I need feedbacks more. Who else is following? Who is not following? If you're not following, ask your question. I'm stopping like it's a break. Ask a question so we can continue. But if you can't ask question, nobody is gonna help you. Oh, you're confused with the apartment analogy. It's very, very simple. You used to live in one bed apartment. Now, what happens if you eventually get money and you want to move into 4-bed apartment? Everything you have from the one bed can easily enter the 4th bed, right? That is what that's what into does. Right here, you are moving from U8, a smaller apartment, to a bigger apartment. But if maybe back in the day you used to live in 4-bed, now you're going to 1-bed. There are things that you cannot, some things might not enter. That's why we are using try into. But first of all, we have to try and see if these properties can fit in. That should be like clear, I guess, Mr. Obi. Is that clear? I will try to watch the concept and follow. Okay, that still works. Is that clear, Mr. Obi? Because it doesn't get any simpler than this. It doesn't get any simpler than this. So I'm trying to share the slide. I'll share the slide with us. You can open and follow along. if you wanted this, you could have just requested for it like a long time ago. But it's all good. It's all good. All right. So continuing with what we have, slide. I have it right now, so I'm going back to the one I'm using. Okay, control flow and functions. We've actually seen control flow already, so it's nothing new. And then functions, I've already explained it as well. So we have to move. Keyword, function body, so there's nothing new here. But if it's new to you, please, yes, signify so we can bring you on. And then functions, it's just about the same thing. I've explained all of this before now. Functions that take parameters, we also have seen it. Okay. So then we have statement versus an expression. When we defined a variable like this, we are like making a statement because this does not return anything per se. But eventually, if you have something like this, we talk about expression because it evaluates to something. That is what the difference, straight up, so easy. So one more thing we have to keep in mind is technically, like in maths, you can say that this guy here is also an expression. Can somebody understand what I just said right now? This guy here is also an expression. Does that make sense? I need feedback now. Does it make sense?
Yes, it does.
Please, can you help some of us that do not understand it? Okay. So it's an expression in the sense that this can also be a 6 times 1, which in the end is also 6. It can also be 6 plus 0, which is also what? 6. So essentially everything what is an expression. All right, let's continue. Return values, we've seen this as well. When you have a function of this, our function here is not returning anything, but if we add this arrow, it means we are returning something. Okay? In that case, we can actually return something like A. So, and then we take off this guy because we are returning A. This is what it is. Now you can return it like this, or you can use the return keyword. You can be explicit about it. In which case you add your semicolon and everything is also fine. These are 2 ways you can do it. All right, return values, like I said, implicit without semicolon, which is like the faster way to do it. Then explicit, use the return keyword. We have loops as well. Just like in other programming language, you have loops. And I thought we are done with, okay, if expressions. I think we've seen if expressions already. If the positive, if here is 2, these blocks gets executed. That's just what this is all about. Let me see if I can quickly grab this. So if the if block is positive, like that. So let's take off this guy because we're not returning anything. Execute. What is it saying? due to previous error. Missing token. Okay. Something is missing somewhere. I think, yeah, like this. I think that should be fine now. So we have a value here, seriously, and we set it as 5. And we're just saying if number here, this number is equal to 5, print the number, and it's false because it's not 5. But if we make it 5, I guess we're gonna get true. And this is not new. Yeah. Condition was true and number equals 5. Okay. Now we have loops. Loops here is like it keeps like repeating itself over and over and over again. It doesn't stop unless you tell it to stop. So let's see quickly what we can achieve with this. I clear this, I paste this. What's he saying again? Okay, it's like we need one more. Okay, so if I execute this, I think it's gonna keep running. It doesn't stop. Unending loop. And you can actually do a couple of things, add conditions and say, if this is also this, we want it to stop. And we have guys that will help us with that, break and continue. So this is what it typically looks like. You can also return a value. Okay. Okay. All right, so if we run this, execute, man, our time is almost up. The result is 20. First of all, what we did here is to start, the counter somewhere, starting from 0. And then we look through results. This, you can see that this is where the loop started. At the end of the day, we are saving it back into a variable. We can do this. And this is how you, what's it called? How you return a value. You break with the name of the counter, then you can actually break just like this. Right, break counter. Let's see what happens if this is active. You can see that we have 10 in this case, but in the other instance, we're like increasing the 10 by 2. I hope this is clear. Now this is about increasing the counter, yeah. And then you have, I think we've already seen something like this break. Okay, in this instance we returned. So we can easily grab this. Doesn't cost too much. So we see it in action. Okay. Saying that users did you what? You can't use, we already talked about this. Wait, go. Oh, I think the user should work actually. No, I was the one that didn't get something right. So usize is also U32. You can see that, right? So you don't get thrown away. It's like a nickname for it. So here we are trying to already instantiated the value as 0 counter. Then if I is greater than 10, want it to break. And let me just execute and we see what happens. So yeah, continue. Now, at this point, we talked about continue. So at 5, it means we're not going to see 5 in whatever we're printing. Yeah. That's about that. Okay. You also have while loop. Once the condition is correct, true, it keeps executing until the condition here. When I'm talking about condition, I'm talking about the condition right here. As long as number is not equal to 0, it goes on. We also have the for loop. You use this type of loop for, when you want to iterate over collection, like an array. You can see what we have here. But first of all, you need to convert that array into a span. I believe we've seen this before now. You make the conversion like that, and then you can iterate over the array. Another example here for range of values. Okay. So into the last section of the class, we have these arrays, enum as enumeration and structures. Okay. Now we've seen arrays before. The array we saw earlier is the fixed size array. They do not increase, they do not grow. Well, this particular type of array, they grow. You can increment as you go. So to create it, you use this guy here, right? This is how you create it. Name of the array. The name of the array, mind you, you have to make it mutable because the values in this array can change. I think I need to copy this out so we can demonstrate it in our tool. Okay, right here. Let me just close this. I need it. All right. So this is the array we have. Why is it throwing an error? Okay, I'm using, let's go with this. So this is how you define an array. And using the array trait, new, because it's a new thing, something new is coming. If we take off this guy, you can see, hover over this and you get it. It has to be mutable. That's the only way it can work. So this is the name of the array, like I said. Now, how do you populate the array? How do you add values to these arrays? We are going to use the append method. Add 0, 1, 2, 3, can add as many as you like. Or we are stopping here. We have manipulations. Of course, we already seen append, the method. So far, do we have any question? So far, do we have any question? While I wait for your question, I'll continue. The append method adds element to the array. We've seen that in action. Then removing, we use the font method. And it returns an option because sometimes the array might be an empty array. If it's an empty array, of course, it's not valid. So you either have a valid array that has something in it, or there is nothing. If there is nothing in it, the pop font will obviously panic, but we'll get there in a minute. So accessing elements, if you want to retrieve any element from the arrays, you either use gets as a method or adds. Now I say why both retrieve elements, they actually handle error differently. Get is safer because it returns an option. It gives you the ability to handle errors. If there is nothing in the array, it will give you that flexibility to say, okay, I want this to get printed out. But when you use at, once there is no element in the array, what happens? It panics. your program ends. We also have length, right? Length of an array basically tells you the length, the size of the array. The dot is empty tells you if the array is empty or not. We saw a way to create an array, that is this guy. You can also create an array using the array macro, and this is more friendly if you agree with me that it's a lot more friendly because everything just works. You don't need to specify some special things, array traits slash colon new, the method. No, just this. But it's important you understand that under the hood, you are still making use of all these things here. Yes. But now a lot of things was abstracted for us in order to make our life easier. Everybody is so quiet. I believe we are following. I believe we are following. Next thing we have here is the enums. Enumeration for food. Okay. Now, this is how you define an enum with the enum keyword. Maybe I should copy this. Let's see what happens. Yeah, I should copy this. Definitely. I think there is something I prepared like it to help us. Okay, maybe when you go through the video one more time, everything will make a lot of sense. So this is how you define an enum using the keyword, then the variants. These guys here are called variants. We have integer, float, then tuple. Enum can take as many things as you give to it. And this type of enums, now we're talking about enums in an array. So we are trying to store an enum inside an array. It's possible as well. So this, first of all, you have to define the enums. And that's what we have here. Next thing, let me just copy this into the editor so to make a lot of sense, I guess. So derive, and now we, okay, sorry. So who can tell me what line 16 does? Line 16, who can tell me what it does? Somebody please help me out. Somebody help me out. I'm waiting. What are enums? I said they are enumeration, like, the code already gave you something like true or false for booleans. But if you want to create something like custom for your own use, or want to use it in a special way in your project, now it gives you this flexibility to create something like this. So you can either create system allows your perfect Collins, perfect. Line 16 gives is okay. So if what are the attributes? Copy and drop. Okay, droppable. Awesome. Can you give me a quick explanation of what droppable or copy, what it's all about? Allows, okay, Oh, all right. So that's basically what it's all about. Yes. So this line here, I think it's 13 now. Line 13, it gives, can you expand? All right. It gives this data, enum. You see everything now is highlighted. Enum and then the name of the enum, which is data. It gives you the ability to be copied. what we are trying to say here is that everybody in the class can actually make a copy of this particular data. What makes it possible? The copy trait here. Now, after using, you have to discard it. What makes it possible? The drop trait. Okay. I hope that is clear enough. Yes, memory management. So since we have our enums created here, one other thing you have to remember about enums is that they are created at the global scope, globally. They are not defined inside the function. Maybe I should just point these things out now. Your variables must be defined inside a function. It's a must, compulsory. Constants, you can define them. I haven't talked about constants so far. Constants, when you have something like const, new, let me just use convention, is equal to 5. So you can see that it's saying something. When you are defining a constant, the type is compulsory. You must include the type. The compiler does not infer anything about constant. It doesn't want to take that chance. But with variable, you can actually, not include the type. The compiler will infer. All right, I think we're almost out of time, or we're almost done as well. So let's just finish it up. So now your constant, is like convention to do it, type it out in bold letters, but you can still use the small one, no problem. I think you'll be fine. Well, it's like conventionally we use caps for it. Okay. So continue with what we were saying. I just deviated to this because it is defined on the global scope, just like these other guys. These are on global scope. But if it's defined within a function, that's like a local scope. All right. So we have our array defined right here. Let's mute. Remember again, we're making it mutable because we want to populate whatever that we want into the array. The name of the array is message of type data. Now take note of this. This is data. What data are we talking about? The enum we have here. Okay, Paul. Do you have a question? Your hand is raised.
Yeah, hello, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
So, I have a question concerning the main difference between enum and tuple, because it seems like they're exactly like the same, doing the same stuff.
They are not exactly the same. Okay, is that all you have? The question?
Yeah.
Okay, they are not the same in the sense that if you want to access tuple, you have to you have to break it up. I think I showed us how to do that. But in this case, if you want to access what you have here, you use column. We have something like that down here. Column. This is one of the differences actually. Column, data, that's the name. You can't, this guy gives you more flexibility as opposed to when you compare to tuple right here. Tuple just gives you the ability to store different data types, right? Like this, then we have to update this also to maybe to true or false. But this other guy can even contain both. It's like taking it to the next level. I don't know if that is okay.
Okay. So if you say the enum like takes it like higher than the tuple, like it can contain like integer, felt, tuple, and the rest. But the tuple can contain like other data types and also contain a tuple as well inside, right?
I've not tried that, but maybe you can try it on your own, after the class,
Because
maybe.
okay,
Have
because
you,
I'm trying
have
to
you tried
like
it?
no, 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 no. I'm just asking.
Uh,
I'm just trying
so
to
maybe you
know
can,
like
okay.
huh?
Yeah, talk, I can hear
No,
you.
I'm just trying to like see why I should use one over one in some scenario. Like just trying to ask if there is a reason why one should be used over one. Since like tuple can do basically like what I might intend to do with an enum.
Yeah, now enums gives you more flexibility than tuple. Do you understand that?
What is the exact flexibility that it gives?
Can you see one of the examples here? Look at what we're doing. We are storing an enum into an array. Maybe after the class, you can try storing what is this guy called? A tuple into an array and see what you can get.
Okay, so basically like all the in the main function here, what you are appending here, all of them are inside index 0 of the array.
No. This is 0 here. The first one is 0. This is 1. And this is 2.
This is 2. So like
Yes.
that's what I'm saying now. Like the tuple can also do something like this. I was just trying to find out like why, like if for example like if we are using like let's say like some criteria like size limit, we get like something to like point out why I should use enum over saying flexibility does not actually like define why I should use, because flexibility also means that the tuple as well can also do what the enum is doing. So like, is there like maybe like a size limit or some data types that can be used inside enum that cannot be used inside a tuple? You get?
Not exactly. But I think I gave an instance earlier on where you have a bool, like Boolean. It has just two values. So this is a way for you to like create your own fixed data type in your program. Now I understand what you're trying to say. We can store tuple, but tuple does not give you flexibility. Is very, very necessary. Now I've not used matching expression with tuple. Maybe it works, but I've not tried it. But when we talk about match expressions now, enums gives you that easy access to whatever you have within the enum. Is that okay?
Sure. Cool. Thank you.
You're welcome. So
Sorry,
yeah.
we are really out of time already. Can you like try to wrap it up so we can close the club?
So after enums, I mean, I've actually explained this as well. Short for enumerations, custom data type, and known as variants. So there's nothing different from what I've just explained. And structures, another data type that we have is a structure. Struct for short. So we also have something similar, basically. This for like want to collect a collection now, a book, like the example we have, it can be for a car. Then you try to name the different parts of the car, the headlamp, tires, how many are there, you keep when you have the the name here, then you specify the type is going to be on the other side. That is what this is all about. Then we're making it copyable and then drop it once we are done using it. This is very, very crucial. And what else? Then we can use functions in struct. So when you have a function that takes a parameter, let me see, yeah. maybe we should just copy this into the VS Code so we can have a better feel. So I need to copy the book as well. Let's bring in the book. So right here, instead of using normal, what is it called? Normal parameters. The parameter we are using in this case is of type struct. And then look at the flexibility we are talking about, how you can easily access elements from this guy. The title, just the title gives you the element of the title of the book. Dot author, this is not something you can achieve easily with tuple. For my guy that is talking about tuple, you can't achieve these things. You know, that flexibility as a dev is very, very important for you. And maybe you like to do hard stuffs. I don't know, but this is a lot more straightforward. So this is how you access the elements using the dot notation. In enumeration, we use the colon, double colon. Okay. All right. And that is the function. What else are we missing out on? Accessing values, I already talked about this using the dots. And we can also modify. So, okay. And for you to modify like we have here, you must remember it must be what? Mutable. If it's not mutable, you can't modify. This is where we define the struct, the structure. And we supply the values, title, author, and the rest. And then accessing elements, I think we've seen this, modifying my book, which is this, dot here, we're now setting it to 1926. If we print this out, it's not going to be 1925, but the updated value. So quickly, I have, let me see. I have this somewhere. Min-max, like we are supposed to implement. I know we are definitely run out of time. So it makes sense that I have this on the side. So I'll just copy this, take it off. So this is like, this is your assignment. You are going to implement something very basic. Okay, but let's just conclude what we have right here. I paste this. There is no error so far. So to do what is it called? Like a basic addition algorithm, just have maybe like two numbers, or it can be within an array. That's what we have here. So everything we do here is basically clear, adding two numbers. I think this is the first time we are having two parameters within a function. So yeah, and look at how we returned it without return keyword, and there's no semicolon. It's valid. And then we can also add an array. We've seen an array and the beauty. So there's nothing new here. Okay. And then here we define an array and try adding it total. Now you might be seeing a couple of new things here, like this star is here, and also the @ symbol. I will quickly explain what they are. The @ symbol is it's like you taking a snapshot of an array. It's still part of memory management. You can either take a snapshot or you make a reference. Remember what we said earlier about a data being copyable, for you to be able to copy. But in this case, you're taking a snapshot of it, of this array, and then We are doing whatever we want to do with it. Now, for this other guy, it's like the snapping, right? We are trying to change it back to the normal letter that it was. So it's like inverse of what you have here. All right. So is it possible to execute this? I should. Main. Let me call main. Okay. This is for another guy. Let's see if we run into any error and then we fix it. Scale execute. So it says total sum of element is 15. And if we choose the 4 plus, this is 9, this is 6, I think it's 15. So we are correct. Do we have any question as regards to this? We're almost at the end, actually. Any question so far? Our time is fast spent. I will take your silence as we understand. Remember, you'll be implementing one of these. So now is your best time to ask question. Then we also have for the min max. So I'll be, let me just need like a minute or two, and then we are done. Okay. So right here, we are basically returning to values. If A is bigger, we return it. And you can see our if else in action right here. And what else? Here we are trying to return the max. The other one is min. And then we all have an array. We take an initial stand for, initiating. This is how you access elements, with these brackets. It's still, I think it's similar to using at. We talked about it, right? Can anybody talk, or are we all tired? Everybody seems tired. See that at, or you use array then index. So the two, they are the same thing. They work as one. Okay, for that's at country cousin, you can see it at the end of the slide. Okay, and also at the beginning. Everyone is sorting Cairo. Oh, it just takes a while. It's not so difficult. You can do it. We all can do it. So you can, yeah. That is the handle. Why is the handle hiding? The handle here on X, Twitter. I can use this one. Anyone works. So first of all, we like set our initial values to be 0, 0, at 0 index, initiate it. So while the length is still valid, then we begin to collect. When we collect, we check with this min max, or we increment until the length is invalid. And then we bring it down, and that is all we have here. Here in this main function, I just define the values that we need to execute the program. And then here I have the array, and what else? What is this? Okay, here we are saving it into a variable, so we can actually print it out. This is this point we are printing this guy out, this one here from 55, and also the smallest, biggest, that's what we're talking about, the guys up here. So basically that's it, guys. let me execute and we get something out. It panicked. Why is it panicking? But before, okay, I think I have something else down here, conversion. So I will delete it. You can see that the max here is what is actually 10 and the mean is 10. So in a way, our algorithm works. Then for this other guy, smallest 7, for these guys here, we have 3 and 7. So ladies and gentlemen, this is where we'll be drawing the curtain. If you have questions, you can ask so I can easily, quickly answer.
Yeah, thank you so much, Country Cousin, for that very insightful session. So guys, just 1 minute. If you have questions, please ask your question now. We're going to be ending the call in like 2 minutes. We're going to be sending out the session, the recorded session tomorrow, as well as the form for you to submit your assignment. So we have the grace of, I think we usually do up until Sunday or Monday for deadline. That's the deadline for submission. Yeah, but we're going to send out the form tomorrow. Yes, and please, it's very important for you to practice. Don't just close your laptop and then you wait until the next class. Practice, ask your questions on the Starknet Africa Telegram channel. You will always find people to answer your questions. Are there any questions before we close the call? I'm also going to recommend this blog for you guys to follow. It's very beginner friendly, especially if you are a Solidity developer. It's going to help you. That's the Cairo book by Rescues. Let me quickly find it. Okay. Yeah. There you go. I just shared it on in the chat box, so you can go through that. So I'm going to take the silence as no, add it to the bootcamp resources in the Notion. Okay, I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that. Okay. Thank you so much, guys, for joining today's call. I do hope and I know that you guys learned a lot. Please do well to do more studies, yes, and yeah, always ask questions, very important. So look forward to the mail tomorrow. We're going to send all the necessary resources that you need and the form for you to submit your assignment. So we're going to see you next Tuesday. So enjoy the rest of your weekend. Thank you, guys, and yeah, bye. Bye, everyone.